Jakob, we are live.
Hi, Ching. Yes,
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Yes. My name's Ching Juhl, and this is my weekly live conversation with someone very special. And today, my guest is Jakob Zapf. I said it right. so yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Jakob Zapf. Yeah, it's a
Jakob
hard
Zapf.
German word.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So tell us, where are you right now physically?
Normally I'm located in Frankfurt on the Main, but I am in Munich at the moment because we are kind of having a long-term relationship, long distance relationship. That's what I wanted to say. And so I need to travel back and forth, and that's where I am at the moment
Oh, you mean relationship, not like a personal
with
relationship.
my partner. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool. Yeah. So because I thought like you have to go to work, like so. Anyway, yeah, yes,
I do
yeah.
go to work anywhere and everywhere.
So tell us a little bit how we met. I always like to remind my guests. Do you
Yeah, I
remember?
mean, we met on the socially relevant film festival in New York City. Must have been 1.5 months ago, around that,
Yes,
I think.
yes, yes.
And we initially we met for the first time when we had a drink after the opening night. And then we talked about your film, and I visited your premiere, and we talked about my film, and you visited my premiere, and then we had a good time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for coming to my film. Now, tell us about, since we're talking about your film, how we met. So tell us a little bit about your journey of making your feature length, first feature length documentary, A Handful of Water.
Yeah, it's not a documentary; it's a fiction
Oh,
feature
fiction.
film.
Right. It's a it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
it's a narrative. Right. Right. So
yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, you know it because I know you saw the film. So yeah, it was a long journey. I mean, we had I had the initial idea that must have been 2016, maybe 17 or something. I can look it up, but I'm not
mm,
really
yeah,
strong with
that's
numbers
okay.
and these like
That's
dates
okay.
and number stuff.
Yeah.
I tend to forget how much time I already put into a project in order to keep on moving,
Yeah.
to be able to. So yeah, that I reached that point quite some time in the making of this movie. It was my first feature film, yeah, exactly. So I had a lot of doors to open, a lot of obstacles to overcome, and I had a great team, which always helped, and I had a lot of friends who always helped, and my family helped, and so it was a great experience in the end to be able to put it all together. But the journey took a long time, yeah, quite some
Hmm.
time,
So what
and
is
at
the
every
what
step,
is yeah,
you
sorry. Go ahead.
so
Go. So what is the
I was
tagline?
just saying at every step you find out where you need a little more help than you thought.
Yeah. Yes, yes,
So
definitely.
the tagline was the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. What's
So
the
there's
tagline?
it's basically it's a story about friendship. It's a modern fairy tale, and it's the unlikely getting to know each other of an old man and a young girl.
Mm, mm,
So played by Jürgen Prochnow, who some might remember from Das Boot or Dune or The English Patient, other movies that he did. Is one of the very rare German, famous German actors who really had a world career, and he is doing the lead role in the film, which is great and what was a huge honor and a big experience. And he is Konrad, this grumpy old man who is alone and wants to be alone and not want doesn't want to be alone. So both at the same time, he's very negative to other people all the time. And this young girl, who is a refugee girl coming from Yemen, breaks his like surface, and there's a person underneath, and he comes out little by little.
Yeah, it's a very deep, and it's like a unexpected kind of a even middle, right? The beginning is dark, the whole mood is very dark, right? And then
I
it just,
think
yeah, at the beginning especially, and become
that's true.
more and more opened and more tender, more and more sensitive, right? I mean, this is like a friendship between these two people, old and young, a native person and with a refugee. And it's fascinating. And this film, if people want to see, where can they see it?
So at the moment, I'm not sure if there's like a possibility to watch it in the US. We had the last festival that it was at. It might be still online through that festival. Was the LA Festival of Cinema, and it won the Best Feature Award there. So I'm not sure if it's still online. I think the Socially Relevant Film Festival closed down their online section, so we are now waiting for a US distributor to put it out there again. Because we had quite some festivals in the US. I think it was 9 festivals and some 5 to 6 awards or something, which
Yeah.
was very good, and we were very lucky.
And you
And
received what
yeah.
award?
I think it was a special mention in Socially Relevant Film Festival and the Indie Pix Award.
Oh,
And then we
Indie
had yeah, as well, yeah.
Pixel.
And then we had this Best Feature Award in LA, and it was a Human Rights and Dignity Award in Tryon, and an honorable mention in Deep Focus, and some other. I'm not. I have to look it up, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
was shown
wonderful.
in Cinequest and in Catalina as well, so it had quite some exposure in the US, which was
Oh,
great.
that's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, I actually was able to find. I was able to find the trailer through the socially relevant festival, because I went to your website. The website is like a handful of water.com. It did not show. I mean, the website somehow is not functioning, so you may want to check.
Ah,
Yeah. You know
ooh.
why? Maybe are you able to use a dash handful dash of dash? Are you able to do that in the
Yeah,
website?
yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe after.
You can also write it together. You both versions work. We had, I think we blocked both URLs. It's both
Oh, okay.
ours, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah. Maybe you can give me that website in the private chat, and then I can bring it up. Do you know private chat? Did you see it on the right hand side?
I can see it here on the right in my screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give it a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
a
Some.
German website which is called eine Handvoll Wasser.de, and
Oh.
there's an English website which is called a handful of water.com.
Yeah.
And so I'm just giving you the a handful of water.com directly transfers to the German website, but
Okay.
the English version of it.
Okay.
So you
Sure.
will be able to
Yeah.
have an English, but
Yeah.
the German version has a little more content to it. So if you
Oh.
wanna
Oh. Okay.
check it
Uh,
out,
okay. Yeah.
there's a little
I
more
think I think
text
I need to
about the
type in.
actors.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can open this up.
You can
The.
click the second one, I think.
Oh yeah. So what's that? That's a German one.
No, that's the English one as well. It's just with the
Oh.
German URL.
Oh. Okay.
It's the
Okay.
English one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's see. This is the website of the film, right? So the trailer is
Cool.
here. Oh, okay.
is on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So shall we play the trailer now or later? Why not? We'll just
Go
play it now.
ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's
Yeah.
share the trailer of A Hand of Water. Wait. A water. Wait. Sorry. A handful of water. So, w- what? Where is this? The name come from? It's like so. A little bit abstract for me. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah. Comes from Arabic language, actually. So
Oh.
there's an Arabic expression which is called khurfatuma, which means the amount of water that fits in the palm of the hand.
Oh.
And it's a word that doesn't exist in any other language, just in theirs, and
Oh. Okay.
in the Arabic language, which is very interesting. And when you write it down, then it says khurfatuma, and it can also say kharfatuma, which means room of water. So it's because the Arabic language doesn't know vowels, right? I mean, the language does, but the script doesn't. So you can't really, you can, but you normally don't write down vowels in the language.
Yeah.
So the both things are written the same way. So as you will see in the trailer, there's a lot of water going on. Sometimes only in the amount of the palm of the hand, and sometimes in the amount of a room of water, which is what we are seeing at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So this is how long?
I'm not sure. It's not long. It's like 2 minutes or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take us out of.
Eine Handvoll Wasser. Eine Handvoll Leben, verstehst du?
Mama, sie kommen. Ja.
Würden Sie bitte mitkommen?
Verdammt, Profil weg!
Nehmen wir die anderen noch mit?
Ohne das Mädchen dürfen wir die auch nicht abschieben.
Gestern Nacht war bei mir einer drin. Hab schon die Polizei angerufen. Der Nächste kann sich warm anziehen. Halt still. Morgen mache ich dir einen neuen. Dann haust du aber ab, verstanden?
Bulgaria, Gefängnis. Und da England, kleiner Bruder von Baba.
Da wollt ihr hin?
Ja.
England. Ist doch total verrückt. Wenn ich noch jünger wäre, würde ich euch fahren.
Ich wusste gar nicht, dass Sie eine Enkelin haben.
Nein.
Und das Mädchen?
Es geht um ein Kind.
Du willst ein Mädchen aus dem Jemen, das du gar nicht kennst, irgendwie nach England schaffen.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So tell us more about who wrote the script.
So the script was written by two people initially. So I was at the start. I had the idea, and I wrote the first treatment versions. But then I soon partnered up with a colleague of mine who did a lot of the writing, and then we said, okay, it could be good to have a third one on board, and that's the one who is now mentioned the first, because he actually put it in the final version of the script, and that's an author from Cologne.
So how long is their film altogether?
The film is 90 minutes long, so it's a full feature. Yeah,
And how did you find these actresses? Like, did you have a cast agent for you, or you just found themselves yourself?
Yeah, we had a casting agent. So there's one point in the closing titles where it says in memoriam Gita Ulich, and that was our casting agent. She was a very nice person. She died during the process of the making of the film. So right before she secured that, Jürgen Prochnow was playing the lead role, which is for us it was like a jackpot, obviously, because he was a very famous guy and also a very good actor. So for me, it was very exciting to be able to work with him. And then in this casting agency, there was a transformation process going on necessarily, and the young assistant took over the company, so we could work with her afterwards. And that's Anna Kowalski, and she's still our casting agent for other projects as well.
And I understand your young actress. She was she was not a professional actress, right?
No,
was?
no, not at all. She was she wasn't. No, not at all. I mean, you're completely right. She wasn't a professional actor. I mean, whatever is a professional actor at the age of 9 years, because that's what her age was at the moment when we were shooting it. But she didn't really have any experience. I mean, she was in front of camera one time for a commercial shoot for one day, but she only had like not even to say anything. So it wasn't really a role, so more an extra. And we put her in front of the camera, and she had to act in full scenes, remember things, getting in the right mood in the morning and everything. So we were very lucky that she's a very sensible and sensitive and emotional girl that can really easily switch into a different emotional state, which is a natural talent for an actress or for an actor in general. And she's she just came on board three weeks before we shot, so it was tough, but she made a very good job, and I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, that's excellent. And her background, is she a refugee, or she just play a refugee so well?
No, yeah. So we tried to find a refugee girl, but this is something, when people are fleeing their country, they have other problems than acting in movies normally. And I can very much understand and respect that. And also when they are in the new country for a longer time already, and they could have been, maybe okay with that. It's also that we talk about a Muslim background for the girl, and Muslim families for girls of this age, pretty much any age, but especially when they are still young. They were quite reluctant when I talked to them about acting in front of camera and everything. So we couldn't find anything that any solution that convinced us, and we couldn't find any solution for the parents in one case where we wanted, where they could have been convinced. So we also cast other girls, and she's a quarter Lebanese. What's the adjective? I'm sorry.
Lebanese.
I think from Lebanon. Whatever.
Lebanon. Yeah.
So, so she, a part of her family comes from the Arabic world, and another part comes from Serbia, so it doesn't have anything to do with it. But still, she has like a mixed race, a mixed background, and knows what a migration process can look like. So.
Yeah, excellent job. So now that film, you finished the film in 2020, and this is 2022. Are you going to pursue more festivals? What is your goal, like ultimate goal?
Well, we did some 30 something festivals now, and I think it's 10 awards and 12 nominations. So it's like, wow, we are very happy with what's happened so far. And there's an offer on the table for a US distribution, which is going to be a small distribution, a limited release maybe, but it's great, and it's going to be the first distribution for this film abroad. And we also have a world sales agency that is talking to other potential interested parties, and we will see. But festivals is, I think, more or less the journey had its journey, and we have new projects coming up, and they need our
So seeing
attention.
your film, you must have seen your film several times, right? You physically went to many festivals, have you? Like how many festivals?
No, I couldn't.
Oh,
I couldn't. The first and only festival that wasn't in Germany was the Socially Relevant Film Festival in New York.
wow.
So
Wow.
the other festivals were all online, or if they were held physically, then I couldn't attend because of COVID restrictions, because of other travel plans or whatever. And I was very lucky to be able to attend this festival in the end. So I had one, and it was in New York. So that was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And,
So how did you feel?
I have been to three German festivals, or four, I think. Four, yeah, physically.
How did you feel seeing your film in the big screen?
Well, it's always great. I mean, it's always like a huge experience. Depends on how many people there is, and then depending on that, how big the screen is. It can get very big in festivals, and that's like insane. When you watch a movie on a screen which is like, I don't know, 60 meters or something, it's like, wow, huge projection, and then there's hundreds of people, and that's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing. But also a small room can be very cozy and very intimate and very interesting to watch people's reactions and to witness how they can relate to the film.
Right. Yeah, I had such a wonderful experience watching your film. Of course, I watch my own film is a different experience because it's the first time to watch your film. But for me, I cut my own film on my 15-inch laptop. That's my relationship with my film. All of a sudden, it went to the huge screen. To me, that screen is pretty big at the Socially Relevant. And I was just stunned by the impact, how big, and then hearing people cheering and laughing, because I had a lot of people in the audience who were in the film, so it was a very close relationship.
That's always very rewarding. Show your film to the people who help you make it. It's great. We will have we are just about to release a film which is called Holy Shit, and it's taking place in a portaloo, and so it's in a plastic toilet, and 90 minutes. It's a little bit like Wrecked or something like that, 127 hours. So it's a real-time thriller confined space situation, and it's ironic, satirical, and it's very fun. And people love to make it, and we will have our local regional premiere with the team and the crew on Friday the 13th, which is the perfect date for this film. And I think it's going to be very full and very hilarious, because they love to laugh with whatever humor is on screen. They are already, they are already admiring the film or loving it. So you don't have to convince them at first.
How do you say holy shit? How do you say holy shit in German?
Ach du Scheiße.
I can't speak German. It's too difficult.
Sorry. Same goes for me with any Asian language, pretty
Oh,
much.
Chinese.
Any
Hey,
East
Johnny is
Asian.
here.
Yeah, Chinese is
Johnny.
like,
Yeah, Johnny, how to say holy shit in Chinese? Johnny is a film director, and Shark Fin Tech, whose real name is Mark, which you met at my
yeah.
film reception. And then Louis is here. He's also from Clubhouse, and he's a tech person. So there's a lot of tech person down here.
Great.
So anyway, yeah, it's amazing. You just move from one film to another. Now, tell us a little bit your background. Like, did
So
you?
well, I'm working as a film producer and film
Yeah,
director at the moment, and also as a writer.
yeah.
I try to pick projects that are interesting to me, but normally I also need to take into account like economic circumstances. So I also end up with projects that I don't really especially want to do exactly like this, but most of the time we succeed in doing interesting projects. So we, when I say we, it's two people that lead the company at the moment from the law point of view, but actually we are three people for quite some time now already, and we will be changing the company into a limited company this year, including the third person. So it's Tonio and Andrea and me. Andrea is a woman, Tonio is a man, and I'm too. So we are. That's the website. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your
us.
website.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Called
Exactly.
Neopol. What does that mean?
It means like Neo is, it's the name of the character in Matrix, and it's also it's in neon, and it's the Greek, old Greek syllable for new.
Oh,
And
okay.
Pol is the old Greek short form for city. So it can mean, or city, society, or something.
Oh, okay.
It can mean like a new pole, or it can mean like a new society, or like a new way of life, if you want.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice website. That's the
So if you want to hit about, then that's us. And so we met when we were studying. So that's three. And we had like Tony and me, we had a study together, which is called film science or theory of film or something like that. And Andrea and me, we worked together. I had like a student job for her. She has a cultural consultancy, something like a company. And we teamed up for this company, and now we are working on serious projects. We have like one project, a documentary series in production at the moment for the German television, which is dealing with infamous Hamburg St. Pauli quarter, which is one of the biggest red light districts in Europe. And it was the place where the Beatles had their first public appearances outside of UK, and went on being like really famous. So that is between the 60s and the 80s, which is an interesting time to talk about. So that's one project that we're working on, and we are financing a children's movie and stuff. So different projects.
Nice, very nice, clean. I like that kind of website. It's very clean and to the point. Yeah, very nice. Wow, lots of projects.
Thanks.
So I wanted to know, like, how did you become a producer, a filmmaker? Like, did you go to school? How was your when you were young? Were you always interested in filmmaking or something else?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really always interested in filmmaking as such. I was always interested in stories, and I was always interested in watching movies. I did that all the time whenever I could, and I read a lot. And so when I finished my A levels, I wasn't really sure yet. And at the time we had a thing in Germany called the civil service, which you had to do as a boy or a young man if you didn't want to do military service, because that was obligatory at the time. So you could do that as a substitute. And during this process, I decided what way I want to go for studies. And there was a film festival that I could attend as part of this civil service. And I went there, and there was like 40 young men or boys in civil service, all watching movies together in a festival cinema. And it was great movies by Darren Aronofsky and other people that I admire so much. And I didn't know before. And I was like just shot dead by the movie and the sheer force of it. And then that was when I decided I want to do that. And then I applied for a university, not film school, because in the first place I didn't know there was a thing like film school. So I went to university, and then I found out about film school, and I tried, and I almost got in, and then I didn't want to try again, and I just thought I'm going to do it myself. And I'm not sure if that was the right decision, but it worked out a little bit. So, here I am. I have my films, and I have different projects as well. So.
That's wonderful. Have you ever thought about having a handful of water, having a theatrical release? Why?
Yeah, we had one in Germany. Yeah, we had what you would call a limited release as well, because it was
like a 1 week
during
release.
COVID time.
Oh.
Yeah, a little longer than that, but it was like not that many cities, not that many cinemas, not that many people watching it. But it was a Germany-wide, like a whole country was, you were able to watch the movie in the whole country.
Yeah, I exit myself because I have too much light, so I was like, try to diminish some light.
Okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden sun came out. Earlier it was very, very kind of grayish.
Okay,
Yeah. So
right,
my face is a little overexposed. So anyway,
yeah,
I'll fix that.
Go
later.
ahead. You can adjust that if you want.
Yeah. So tell us more about your childhood. May I? Like, where were you born and stuff?
My childhood. So I was born in 1983, which is quite some time ago, in a small town called Paderborn, which is a Catholic kind of place. 64 churches on 120,000 inhabitants. That's a lot of churches. And so I went from there to Augsburg, which is near Munich, some 600 kilometers away, which is for US standards is nothing, but in Germany it's like a very different region. So I was raised in Bavaria then, and went back to this initial city just because I wanted to do my civil service as a different thing. Normally, I would have loved to do it in Haiti, where I already had a contract, but then there was a civil war breaking out in Haiti, and I couldn't go to Port-au-Prince. So I needed to change places or locations, and that was when I went there. And then afterwards, I moved to Frankfurt, and that's where I still live, basically. I mean, I have lived in Paris and Cologne and other places, but only short term. And I always come back to Frankfurt, as it seems.
I love Germany. I went to Germany a few years ago. We didn't go to that many cities. Like say we went to Berlin, Hamburg.
All right.
Yeah, Lübeck.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. Because the reason we go to Hamburg was one of the reasons was my husband's family. His father was born near Hamburg. So,
Right.
And we try to go trace my husband's family. We went to some, fancy graveyard and try to find some, people have the same last name as he does, which is Juhl, because it's on the border of Denmark and Germany, right? So that area. Yeah. So it was very interesting.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Denmark is still some kilometers away, but yeah,
Yeah.
but Hamburg, the whole region is. So you have been to the north pretty much, and
Yeah.
I'm living more in the south, but I
Yeah.
love the north. It's very pretty there.
And
Hamburg
also,
is a stunning city.
yeah, also I feel very close to Germany because I'm a musician. So there's so many
Yes.
great musician composers, right? Beethoven, you name a couple, Mahler, right? So many
Yeah,
great
Schubert,
Hindemith.
Schubert,
Yeah, so many
Mozart,
great
which
musicians.
is not a German one. Yeah.
Is Hindemith? Yeah, Hindemith is German. Yeah, he's a German
Hindemith
20th
is German,
century.
I think.
Yeah, 20th century
Yeah.
composer. Yeah. So it's just so wonderful, and you have such a rich culture, and also it's very interesting. At that time, I think it was 2017, either 17 or 18, and people say, "Oh, don't go to Germany because there's a lot of refugee, issues." But when we went, there was no issues, right? It was
No. You don't see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like Germans are quite. They are gifted in organizing. When they put their mind to organize a refugee crisis, that works out. When they put their mind to murdering millions of people, that will work out too. So you maybe should ask yourself, what is the goal and where you want to go, because
Yeah.
it might turn out a reality in the end.
Yeah. No, Germans are very on time. Germans are so wonderful with technology, making cars, right? I have a German
True.
car. I love German car. So anyway, yeah, and then art, and film, and I don't see enough German film myself. So yeah, and
Yeah, I mean the film history of Germany is very interesting, but it's not as rich as, for example, France's or something. We do have a good and very strong and vital film history, as do a lot of other countries. It's not like in the opera or something where Germany is like, one of the world's leading countries. That's not the case for film, I think.
Right.
It's like more in the
Right.
middle.
Right. So now you're a very modest person. Your biography is so short. And I was
Thank you.
wondering, yeah, so tell us more about how the journey of making a handful of water, what kind of things you did not expect, like you learned by
Okay.
doing it.
So I did not expect it to take so long. I did not expect Corona to hit.
Yeah.
I was really not aware that something like this could happen, and
Yeah.
it was maybe not the best time for us because as you know, a film is a cultural work, but it's also an economic good, and you want to sell it afterwards. And that is something that didn't really work out with Corona. So there's a lot of people who made who lost a lot of money on a lot of films, and we were no different, I would say, on this one. We were lucky that German films aren't produced with credits, but you don't lend money that much. You do, but not that much, not as in the US. You get money from the film funds, and they are only recoupable in case you have any profits, which is convenient if you don't have any. So you don't have to pay back. So no, but what did I expect? Didn't I expect? So we started the movie with another actor as the lead actor, which is also a very famous German actor called Günther Lamprecht. He might not be as known to you as Jürgen Prochnow might be, because he's 10 years older, and he's a Fassbinder actor, and he's more like from the other side, and not so much from the mainstream popcorn cinema. So he got a little bit too old, and we took a little bit too much time to finance the movie, and then we recognized, both of us, that it's not going to be good for his health to try and act this lead role again anymore. because then he was like 90 years old and couldn't walk anymore and stuff. So we decided together that we should look for somebody else. And before that, we worked together on a short film that was 2013, and it's called Sein Kampf, like Mein Kampf from the famous Adolf Hitler, but with an S, which in German means not my combat, but his combat. So like the one letter makes a difference in German. So this short film that was screened in Montreal World Film Festival was seen there by Atom Egoyan, who is an Oscar-winning director, and he loved Günter Lamprecht acting, so he wanted to cast him for his then new film project, which is called Remember, starring Christopher Plummer and Bruno Ganz and Jürgen Prochnow, because Günter Lamprecht, who initially was cast for the part, couldn't take it because of a sickness that he had, and that took a lot of time, and that was exactly the 4 months that he would have used to act in the movie. So this story that Günther gives a role to Jürgen already happened once with an Oscar-winning director. So I think it was thank you, Shark FinTech.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I wanted to know how much direction you have to give to Jürgen. How do you say that? Jürgen. Like,
yeah, Jürgen. Yeah, I would say not too much.
Do you feel
Never too much.
intimidated at all?
Yes, all the time. No, all the time. You don't give too much because it might. I mean, it's what I always do with any actor. I'm to be honest, I don't give too much directing because it's not helping. If people are not, at ease, then it won't put them at ease if you say a lot of just, a whole bunch of things, because that will just get them more agitated. So maybe, directing them in a more subtle way, not without talking too much, doing something with them, going outside, having, I don't know, a moment or something. That might be helpful, but, just talking isn't all the time. So I try to watch, then I try to say the right things. And with Jürgen, I mean, it's not easy because he knows a lot of directors. He did, I think, 120 movies.
Wow.
So he worked with a lot of people, and he's not easily fooled. So you better not try, and you better know your shit, and you come prepared and stuff. So yes, it's intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of directing, I wanted to know what if someone is not in the film world, right? You have producer. I guess producer's job is mainly to get money or doing promotion or marketing,
Also,
mainly.
yeah.
But what exactly film direct job? Like how many aspects a director?
So a film producer, you forgot something which is kind of crucial. So the film producer bears the risk of the whole endeavor.
Yeah.
So whenever something goes wrong, he's pretty much going down. So that's the film producer's role in independent movies, right? Because I mean, there's corporations that are so big they won't ever go down there. But that's another question. Film director, So what does a film director do? Normally, a film director reads the script, changes a little bit in order for the own opinion to be in there, and then talks with the directors, rehearses with the actors. I'm sorry, rehearses with the actors, and he leads the whole crew on set. So on set, the director is like the director. So the directing person is the boss on set, not the production. So whenever the director decides we are not yet going home, then this is what counts like also on the in Germany at least. I mean, I'm not really sure about the US law, but in Germany, the director is the boss of the set. So there's no pause if the director doesn't say so. There's no end of shooting if the director doesn't say so. But also, if anything happens that is a problem, it's always the director's problem, because he needs to deal with it, or she, in the situation, and quite fast usually, because if you don't act fast, sun will be gone, rain will come, people won't be there anymore, other people will be angry, whatever. You have to leave the premises, or there's so many restrictions that you always you have people for everything. You have people who think about the costume, who think about the organization, the organizational aspects, who think about the text and in the scene. You have people who think about makeup and food and whatever. But still, you need to be the one thinking about the story and how it will fit together in the end, and if it will fit together in the end at all. So you need to kind of edit the movie already while working a little bit in your head. So you need to be sure, do I have enough coverage of this scene in order to edit it into an interesting and suspenseful piece of the movie later. Because you cannot really stop working on this if it's not in the camera, because then you don't have it. So so this is the person who is like responsible for the end product, is the director. And to be able to be responsible for the end product, he or she needs to be boss on set, because that's the only way you can handle that.
Did you edit this piece, or you had a separate editor?
I had an editor, but I did a lot of editing in my life. So I kind of know what that is and how that works, the whole process of it. And I would even say that in a lot of terms, I'm better than most editors at really very detailed editing, because I'm a nerd and a perfectionist. So
German nerd.
I really frame fuck every single scene until that's really where I want it.
Yeah.
But for a huge project like this, when you have so many thoughts and so many threads to follow during the story, and it was my first time, I needed somebody who had a clear head and an outside view in a way, and I could not watch every piece of thing that we shot and then try to put it together, but I could just come there lunchtime, have something to eat with him, and sit down and watch what he did in during the morning, and then work on it until the evening, and then next day same thing. So that helped a lot.
Yeah. So the editor's job, for instance, like I have never edited things of other people as script work. Does the editor has to read or understand the script, or editing looking at the script, or he just like, how does the editor work? Like he must
exactly like that. Exactly. The script is like, the script is not only the so the script has two natures, or like the double nature. It is the story that you want to tell, and so it's a creative piece of work that is like a meta work. It's not a work in itself. It's into the film, but still it's like something in between.
It's like a score.
But then it's also,
is it like a music score?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a difference, because the score is more like a drama. It's like the score can be reinterpreted. A screenplay will not. Screenplay will just be for this one movie. Like if you not take into account 2 or 3 movies that have been shot by the same screenplay than another movie, that is very, very rare that something like this happens. Normally it doesn't. But it did with Psycho and other movies, but this is very rare. So normally a screenplay is just made for this one movie, and then it's going to be archived or thrown away or something. And then, but the other nature of the screenplay is like a law text, so something that you commit upon, and all the crew members can read it and say, okay, this was written in the screenplay. You know, when the costume designer comes with a cape and you say, no, I didn't want a cape, I wanted a jacket, and it's written in the screenplay, then you can look into the screenplay and say, you see, it's written there, you made a mistake, you know. And then the person says, I'm sorry, or you know, you take the cape or whatever.
Yeah,
that is something that also serves as a kind of contract in a way. And the editor will work the same. So the editor will read the screenplay, then he will get the footage, and then he will, the first thing is, or they will put together the scenes like it is written in the screenplay. And then you will have like a first version of the film at the end, which is about 2.5 hours, something, or 2 hours 15. And you know, now we have 45 minutes that we need to shorten it. But that's exactly the job that we will go through. And then editing is also suggesting. So once this process is done, then the editor will have thought about what they think is good to be taken out, what they think is good to be left in, what they think is good to be maybe structured in another way. You know, maybe start with this scene, then have that voiceover, then go into this scene, and then in that. And then it's different than what the screenplay says, but as a moving image, it works better. That's my suggestion, you know. And then the director can say, okay, I agree, or no, I don't want it, you know, and let's watch this, let's watch that, and see what the differences are and stuff. So that's how the editor works.
Yeah, hold on a second. My computer is a little low on battery. Hold on. Let me.
Don't worry, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm just gonna plug in, and it's interesting. The computer is actually, you know, when you plug into that thing, what do you call that? Like input. There's 4 of this kind of input on my computer. One is broken, so I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. I'm going to take out the thing. Okay, so you may lose me for a second. Okay, so sorry about that. Yeah, sorry
Don't
about
worry.
that. Yeah. Okay, so you can. So I am going to. I'm going to set the.
I do still hear you though.
Yeah, I will come back. I'll come back with the different the computer the computer yeah. So keep talking. Can you hear me?
I do.
Yeah, just
what do you want to hear?
Oh, I want to know, how was your experience with the film festival, the socially relevant film festival?
Yeah, I mean, you have seen it. It's a very small festival, but it's a very nice one, and as well. So actually, as it was my first time in the US and my first time in New York, I must say I was a little bit overwhelmed by the city and the hugeness of it. And so it was, I mean, I've been to Sydney and I've been to Manila and other big cities, but Paris and whatever, London. But it's nothing compared to New York. So I was like, okay, wow, this is huge. And I had to walk around all the time just to see a lot of it. And so that was pretty much what I was primarily occupied by. And then I watched a few movies like yours. And I had a very good talks with very interesting people. And I liked it. I really liked it. I think it can be, you know, like any festival. There's a lot of things that you could do. You could make it bigger. You could make it more attended by how do you say, professional audiences, even more than now. And of course, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to develop a festival. but it's a very nice crew, and Nora did a very great job. And yeah, I mean, festival place is nice. The cinema and the Lincoln Center was great. So I enjoyed it a lot.
And you are very also lucky, and that your government sponsored you. Tell us a little about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, as they sponsor films and they consider them part of culture, they need to sponsor, you know, activities that go around it. They come with it. So they will sponsor dancers or writers or theater actors or somebody who wants to take part in a cultural event and is invited to like a competition, for example, like the socially relevant film festival. So you can ask for support, for travel support, and you can do that as a German citizen, having a German project, being brought to other places in the world. You can do that in pretty much any place, because there's the consulate general pretty much anywhere. They will always have a little bit of money, not much, but a little bit that they can help you with. If it's towards the end of the year, it tends to be not longer there. So you need to be a little bit more in advance. Yeah.
Do you call them grant? What do you call grant or scholarship?
Yeah.
Or what do you?
It depends, different ones. So the grant is more something very structured for us, that is, you know, has deadlines and stuff and regulations. And this is not the kind of money I was talking about. It's more, this is more like a little cash and carry. They have like, what do you say, pocket money, you know, for small time guys like us, and who want a few $100 to support their journey, which is great. And then we have a regional film fund in addition, and they are able to support travels in very rare cases. And this was such a very rare case, because we had a festival tour through the whole world over more than 14 months, and I couldn't attend a single one, not even in Europe. And that was for them the reason to say, okay, in this exceptional situation, we can also finance a little bit. So I was able to travel for not a lot of money to New York, which was great, and I was very privileged. Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We have Louis in the audience. His stage name is Tech for Your Needs. Louis has a YouTube channel. He answers or he gives talks about technology stuff. And he asked you, what was your first job being a director?
My first job as being a director, like when I first had the job of the director, is it?
I guess.
Understand it well?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
That sounds like it.
So that was in commercials, I think. I mean, I started being a director already in university, because I did my own independent projects, and I did a lot of short films, and I did a lot of, you know, image videos, corporate stuff, whatever videos, product placement videos, and point of sale videos, and whatever, not, you know, educational stuff and so on. I'm not sure which one counts then as the first directorial debut. I did a short film that was my very first one, that was called Dear Lola, and that must have been, I don't know, 2005 or 6, something, a long time ago. And then I had my first directorial debut as a commercial director in a lemonade spot that was aired on TV, which was in 2012, maybe, something. And then this is my first long feature, so 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you say you went to university, what was your major? in university?
So in Germany, at the time we had still a kind of a free study system. I was one of the last dinosaurs in this system. Now we have the bachelor master system like anywhere in the world, but before it was called magister, which is pretty much the same thing as Latin word for master. But the studies were very different. So we had to choose. We could choose one main subject and two side subjects, or two main subjects. And I did one main subject and two side subjects. But in my main subject, there was three subjects, because it's called the science of film, theater, and media. So it's like three professors and three different things. And then I had philosophy and history of the arts. And that was my study.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. The whole package is wonderful.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
So, is Germany? This is offside. Is a university like very low tuition or free?
It's free, completely free.
That's sick.
Also for foreigners, I think.
Oh, really?
There's little fees for foreigners. I mean, which sound incredibly high for Germans, but I know for Americans this is not a lot of money for university. I think it's 5,000 a year or something.
Wow.
For foreigners.
Is it still the same today? The education
didn't change at all. Yeah.
Wow. You know how expensive?
You can just come here and study here. It's very good to study here, because a lot of the courses are in English even. So
yeah. You know how expensive my son's college education per year?
60,000
more.
Wow. Okay.
70,000. 70 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where he's going? Where is he going to?
He's about to graduate from Juilliard.
All right.
The Juilliard school, you know, the music and theater and dance. Yeah. So yeah, it's insane. Yeah, but he has some scholarship. Yeah. So that helps.
Good.
Yeah. That helps.
Yeah, that helps absolutely. Yeah. I didn't really understand that. I come from a family where my father is a professor of American literature, so I have a kind of a connection to the American university system, because he taught there and you know, flew back and forth sometimes and had seminaries and whatever. And I was always amazed by that, because Americans are, I think that's one of the big roots of, what do you say, inequality in the US, right? That people need to pay so much for their education that they can't really afford it.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
It's also getting more and more year after year. I remember when I was a student a long time ago, it was not this much, you know. Of course, also private university is more than a state university. Where I went is a state university, so it's much less. But yeah, it's very, so a lot of students come out, have huge debt, you know, like a lot of them, if their parents do not pay for it, they have to make a loan, you know. So that's very costly, because, you know, like especially doctor or lawyers, right? They came out, ended up like, I don't know, could be, I don't know, 250,000, you know, that kind of you know, so it's crazy. So yeah, and Sharkfin is asking you a question. Let's see. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it. Like Christoph Waltz.
Let's read it.
And Diane Kruger. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Can you read it just in case somebody's listening now?
So Sharkfin Tech asks, are there any breakout actors with German or Austrian roots, like Christoph Waltz or Diane Kruger, who Jakob would like to direct? Yes, two very good examples actually. Christoph Waltz and Diane Kruger. Diane Kruger is a perfect example for somebody who understood very early on in her career that she wouldn't be going anywhere if she stayed in Germany. So she switched to the US and she made a huge career. and that's because she's a very good actress. So I would love to direct her. Sibel Kekili is another kind of famous actress from Germany. She didn't have these huge lead roles as Diane Kruger lately, but she acted in Fatih Akin. Both of them acted for Fatih Akin, actually. And she did that in Head On, which is a very good, very, very good film by him. And I mean, we don't have that many breakout actors that I know of, actually. Obviously, there's Hans Zimmer, but he's not an actor. But he comes from Frankfurt. I mean, remind me of people if you can think of more.
Thank you. Yes. So we are at our time, and usually I do a game with my guests. It's called Rapid Fire. Should I do it with you? Rapid Fire is
Great.
like I ask a question, like a quick question, and you answer quickly.
A quick answer. Okay.
Yeah. Ready?
All right. I'll try.
Okay. Oh, I want to say hello to Sirius Lyme. Is this your friend? Hi, Nell.
No.
Nell is joining us, and I want to say, let's thank people first before we do that. So thank you so much for joining us, Shockfin, Sarah Slim, and Nell, and Lewis, and who else? Sean was with us also, my son, and Johnny Wu. Is a film director. Who else? And thank you so much. And please consider subscribe this channel, Juhl Media. We do this every week, once or twice. And I think today you are episode 176. I've been doing that since lockdown. COVID lockdown.
Chapeau thing.
So it gives me like a weekly high when talking to people like you, and learning from you, and also to promote artists or specialists or politicians, any people are doing something. I like to talk to people who are doing something and making something. Any shout out you want to before we do rapid fire, like something you wanted to promote or shout out, we call?
I don't really know. I mean, if you want to
your next film.
My next film is not to be published yet. It's not really. I can't really talk about it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm working on this.
Oh, what's this?
That's a novel, and I want to turn it into a TV series. It's in German though.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Even though the title is in English, the book is in German.
It's interesting.
I'm not sure if it's translated. I don't think so. Not yet, because it's very new.
Yeah.
And it's a dystopian near future thing, coming of age thing. And I'm working on it with a colleague, a female writer, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, great. And let's see. Oh, I forgot if I asked you, do you use Clubhouse? You haven't?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, when you have time, you should check it out. It's really cool.
I met so many. I have time.
If you have time, make time. I met Shockfin. I met Lewis. Tech for your needs. I met Johnny Wu, all on Clubhouse.
That's great.
It's very interesting. Yeah, you meet really nice people, and you learn from a lot of film. I learned from so many filmmakers, and I made my own
That's
DCP.
Great.
I made my own DCP. Jakob.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, because I was on Clubhouse, and I was asking people, what software to use and what do I do, and then blah blah blah. Then I watched tons of YouTube channel. So you saw my DCP. Yeah. was good, right? My DCP.
Yeah, it was very good. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna also tell people that I have a film called My Yangon Diary, and Jakob saw
Yeah.
that at the film festival, and it's Vimeo
I
on
loved
demand.
it.
Oh, thank you.
I really loved it. It was such a how do you say that? It was such a social movie. There was so many people in there, and everybody was very driven by the mission of supporting Andrew Yang. Yang, he's pronounced,
Andrew
right?
Yan. Yeah.
Yeah. And I really liked it. I mean, I didn't really know that much about the guy before. We knew that in Germany we got a little press coverage about an Asian candidate, but he was like an outside candidate, so they wouldn't report all the time on him. But seems like a nice guy, like an interesting option for the future.
Yeah. I shot the whole thing on iPhone 11.
Yeah.
Oh, by
Absolutely.
the way, what camera do you
Congratulations.
use? Oh, thank you. What camera did you use? Handful.
That's an Arri Alexa body, Arri Alexa Mini.
Oh.
So it's with Cook anamorphic lenses.
Oh, wow! It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very
So we had
cinematic.
Three. Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, I loved it. It wasn't my choice. It was the director of the photography who chose it. We only had 3 lenses for the whole film. So we had the 3 lenses that normally are not used because they, tend to lie around in the storage and nobody wants them. So we took these 3 lenses, 25, 60 millimeters, and 115 or something. So it's like a little weird sizes that you normally don't have.
Yeah.
And we took these, and then we got a very good deal, and that made all the difference. I was really impressed. Yeah.
Wow! Isn't 25 very close shot? Isn't that 25?
Yes, it's very very wide. 25, right?
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So enough self-promoting. Okay. Rapid fire. Okay. The first one is very easy. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. What's your favorite food genre?
Food genre? What does it mean? I'm sorry.
Like country. Mexican food.
Asian. Chinese.
That's the right answer. Okay. So what movie lately you saw you really like and you will recommend?
I was yesterday. I saw it on Netflix called Silverton Siege. Great movie. Great movie about.
Can you type it down?
Yeah, I can type it down. I'm not sure if this is the. Let me first Google it. Right.
Oh. Google.
No.
It's not.
Yeah, Silverton Siege. No, that's true. Oh. It's a film by Mandla Walter Dube. And it's about Silverton Siege. It's about people from the NLF, I think, in South Africa, that are forced to go into a bank and defend themselves against the police forces who are outside. And it's a very, very good movie. I like it a lot.
Is it dark or
well
narrative? Done. It's a narrative or dark?
It's a narrative, but it's it can be quite heavy. So like a documentary can be, because it's kind of real. Yeah, tough, real stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like to check it out. Okay, so we got food. Let me see. Oh, silver. Let me just. Sorry, we're not very rapid right now. Can't see very well. So what else? What is your favorite junk food?
A burger. If that's a junk food.
Do you exercise often?
Depends on the time period. Not now, but normally yes.
Outside of Germany, you are a European, and there's a lot of cities you're very close to. Which other cities you really like to work or to just leisurely be there, other than Germany?
I love the Canary Islands. I can only recommend going there because it's among the most beautiful spots in the world, with a very honest population, very easygoing and very non-fancy kind of food and drinks. And I like Paris, and I love San Sebastian, and I love London. There's so many places I could, Athens, Crete, whatever. There's so many of them. I'm not really sure, but this is like, and maybe Tel Aviv.
Mhm.
This is like the places that I really loved. And there's other places which are not concerned, which are not regarded as Europe. But let's leave them out for the moment, because that's even
Yeah.
more.
So, if you were not a director, what would you like to do?
Sculpture.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you know how to paint? Do you know paint? You paint?
I mean, I wouldn't say I know, but yeah, I try, and I do regularly.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So, if you had a chance of having dinner with three person, dead or alive, who would you like to choose?
Dead or alive?
Mhm.
Wow. Nelson Mandela, I think, because I saw the film yesterday. Wow, that's a lot. Wow. Schubert, Franz Schubert.
Ooh. Da-dum, ba-dum, bing, bum, bum, dum, ba-dum,
Oh, yeah.
da-dum. Trial music.
And Simone Weil.
Who's that?
That's a French national intellectual thinker and activist, anti-Nazi activist in the 30s and longer and afterwards.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Died
Wonderful.
quite young.
Wonderful. Wonderful answer. Yeah. Do you play musical instrument?
I do. I play the
What?
clarinet, but I didn't practice for a long time now.
Okay. Me too. No, me too, meaning I don't practice much. My next project is I need to practice. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. All right. So if I were right now in New York time is about 4:30 something, and I'll take you to a happy hour. What would you order?
Ice cream, Belgian chocolate.
No, happy hour means it's a bar. They don't have chocolate.
Sorry. What's the name? I'm sorry. Mojito.
Oh,
Or gin
mojito.
tonic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gin tonic. I love gin tonic. Yeah. That's
Me
wonderful.
too.
Yeah. Okay. So, last question is very easy. Coffee or tea?
Both. One after the other.
That's a director's answer. Okay, great. Thank you so much for being with us. And this video is going to be online, in few minutes. So if some of your friend is, want to watch, because it's very late
All
in
right.
Germany. Yeah, late in Germany.
Absolutely.
And so they can watch. And it's the same link I gave you. Okay. So thank you
Great.
so much. And it's a lot of fun
Thank
to
you.
talk to you. Yeah. And you know me, I'm in New York. And when you come back, let's get together. Yeah. Have some gin
Yes,
and
let's do
tonic.
that. Absolutely. Yeah, and if you are ever coming to Frankfurt in or around, then you say something,
Mhm.
and I'll show you around a little bit.
Yes, that would be wonderful. You have a wonderful orchestra
Yeah.
there.
We do.
Yeah.
Even more than one. We have the Ensemble Modern and the HR Symphony Orchestra.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
One of my suggestions to my son is to go to Germany or Europe country to get a job there.
He's a violinist, right?
He's a violist. He already got his
Really?
first job with the Pittsburgh
Yeah.
Symphony in Pittsburgh,
That's
which is
great.
a very nice orchestra. But I think Europe orchestra is very authentic, right? Authentic classical music.
It might be. Yeah, I've never worked in one, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
I know a
So-
few people though. So
Oh, you know
you
some
wanna-
people. Oh, connections.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's make connections. Great. Thank you so much. And thank our
you,
audience
Ching.
to be with us. And thank you. And I'm going to
Thank
say
you for your
goodbye.
interest.
Yeah. So it was nice to, know you and know your film a little bit. And you guys go watch A Handful of Water, please. And just Google and
And
support
whoever
art.
is interested in watching the film and doesn't see a possibility or an option to watch the film at this moment can get in touch through the website and the company's website. I'm always reachable, and we will always make it happen that people can watch the movie.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, thank you so much. All right, I'm
Thank
gonna say
you.
hello. Yeah, I'm gonna say hello to goodbye to our audience first. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here and come back again and again and again. Okay, bye bye. So